Devon, this is the hot seat. Okay. Welcome back to another episode of Enkindled Voices. My name is Maria.
My name is Carmen.
And today we have another guest. We have Devon. Welcome in, Devon. Thanks for being here today. We thought it would be fun since we did a female perspective on singleness, dating. We just picked on another one of our friends and said, sorry, you're single, come on down. But Devon graciously said yes. So welcome, Devon. Do you want to introduce a little bit about yourself?
First, thank you guys for thinking of me and allowing me to be on the podcast. I love it. I've seen it a bunch of times now. Let's see. 25. I do delivering for a big diesel company right now. Like photography, being out like in the country, like doing a bunch of stuff like that. And just always getting closer to God and making that relationship stronger as much as I can.
Nice. Thank you. Well, thank you for being here. Devon is new to our friend group. And he recently, if you were thinking if he was the one on that episode, I don't know. We'll just keep you guys guessing and we'll keep Devon guessing if that's the reference we made. But we thought, well, Devon, I don't know how much you want to share, but the way he came into our friend group was because he did what's now known as OCIA. He did that last year, and Jorge, my husband, just so happened to be there, and we became his sponsors within a week. So I don't know how good of sponsors we are, but I say we're doing pretty decent considering how involved you are now, which majority is on his part, but we throw the rope out there and he just takes it and decides to show up to the event. So yes, thank you, Devon. He became a confirmation teacher this past year and might consider becoming an EM, an Eucharistic minister. Maybe we'll be praying for that. But yeah, how's confirmation for you so far?
It's actually really good. I'm sitting there like learning everything, and like I'm learning stuff and teaching them. But then also like I'm sitting back and I'm thinking like, wow, I didn't even know that. So like it just dive deeper into what I should know as far as like my own faith, and like it just goes one step further in what I should know.
Yeah, but I mean, don't even think that, like, I think that's the case for a lot of us teachers because a lot of the stuff I didn't even learn when I did my confirmation. So even when we're learning, even though it's the same material year after year, it's still, you still learn something new every time.
And then I think especially with the teens that we have every time, it's like something different. Either their questions or their things that they have to say or their input. You're like, whoa, I've never thought about this thing this way. So yeah, it's really cool. Mm-hmm. And it's really cool having you in confirmation, and thank you. And because Devon has been helping us with that, and also during retreats and stuff when we've had low numbers of guy teachers.
Presence. Yes. I mean, when Devon said yes, he didn't know how much he was saying yes to. Yeah. But I mean, what advice would you give to those who are newly reconverting or coming into their faith? Would you say that having taken part of a ministry has helped you with that?
Yeah, I definitely say it helps because, like you get confirmed and you're just like, oh, I'm just going to go to church and I'm just going to do everything. But like, you don't really, or at least I feel like you don't really appreciate what the church and everything has to offer until you join a ministry and you get friends like you guys. And you're like, it just, so what I'm like, it just helps. Like it helps you grow. It helps you want to learn more. And it's just something that really like is impactful to me and like fulfills me every time I go do a new ministry.
Oh, well, there you have it, folks. If you're considering joining a ministry, definitely see what offerings your church has. You heard it here first. Yes. So without delaying too much. I think that we have some good questions. We asked some of you guys on Instagram, and if you don't follow us on Instagram yet, you can follow us
We'll
at
put it here.
Enkindled Voices. Yes, Carmen will add a little something, but we asked some of you guys some questions. But before we dive into those, to ease up on the tension, the fear, we're gonna do some fun questions, some not so fun. So we'll see. Let's take it away, Carmen. So we'll do a this or that type of thing.
Okay. So this or that. Being single longer or rushing into the wrong relationship?
Oh, we're doing.
I would say being single longer, just because that way you can work on yourself. Because I've rushed into like a few relationships. They don't end up so well. You're rushing. You think that you know that person, and then trying to deal with becoming like your new boyfriend, new girlfriend. It's like, oh, and then you learn something new about him. You're like, oh.
You're like, maybe I didn't want to date you.
It's a little different. So definitely, I would say single a little longer. Get to know that person.
Yes, that person. If it's the right person, that person will wait. So definitely don't rush into it. Okay, this one's a little bit more light and dairy. Group hangout or one-on-one time?
With
friends in general. We'll just keep it at friends. Or I guess maybe the person if you were with a girl, group hangouts or one-on-one time. I don't know. It could go either way.
I would say maybe in the start you would do a group hangout, so that way she doesn't feel awkward, you don't feel awkward. You guys have those mutual friends around, and then hopefully, say you like a girl, you're like, hey, we've been hanging out a little bit with friends, like maybe like we can hang out, like go do something, lunch, hike, something, and then be like, if she says no, then it's no, but if she says yes, then you plan it out and hopefully you have a fun time.
Nice.
So career stability or emotional readiness?
I feel like if you're not ready in your career, then I don't know if you can really be emotional ready with that person. So for me, I would probably say career stability, just because if something's going on at work, I don't want to be the one to like maybe take it out like on her, or take it out like on my friends, that hey, this whatever's going on at work isn't working, and then I become you become that bad friend. I wouldn't want that. So probably career steadiness before emotional readiness.
Okay.
I think it's like a boy.
It's a boy thing. Yes, yeah. I was listening and I'm like, From a female perspective, I would say emotional stability. Yes.
Yeah. Well, like with my husband, or with my husband or my brothers and stuff, they're always seeking that career stability.
Yeah.
So maybe it's a guy thing.
It's definitely a guy thing. I think. Even in the Bible, it says so itself. Like the man shall be like required to work and provide that stability for the wife, and then. Yeah, I think it's just like within your nature. But girls, I think you might agree. You could comment with us. I think that we prefer emotional stability. Well, we're very emotional, but we're allowed to have different opinions. It's okay. Yeah. Okay. Prayer before decisions or prayer after things go wrong? Do you tend to do one? Which way do you lean more?
I tend to do the second one. Even though I know I shouldn't. I should tend to do the second one. I've been trying to be better about doing it before, so that way, it's the Holy Spirit can guide through me and, make sure I am taken care of and known. Like, I'm known for what.
Okay, keep going. I was like,
known for like what I need to get done. But I kind of lean more towards the second one, but would like to work on the first one, so that way it'd be a little better.
I mean, it happens. I think we all fall under that too. Sometimes when things are right, we tend to forget to be as deep or as rooted in our prayers. And then it's until things start going wrong that's when I'm like, wait, no, why am I carrying this on my own? So I think I've fallen guilty of that as well.
So the next one, dating with intention or seeing where it goes?
I mean, I would probably say dating with with intention, because you gotta, you know, I mean, it talks in the Bible like there wasn't really dating in the Bible times. There was like courtship, and then that led to marriage. So, I mean, if it's been going on for what 2,000 plus years, as far as, you know, relationships like that, I would feel like you definitely have to have some type of intention when you're dating. You know, you don't want to waste her time. You don't want to waste your time. That's more emotional baggage you got to carry on to the next relationship. I wouldn't do that.
That's true. Time is precious. Yep. DM first or wait and see? You like a girl, do you DM her first or do you wait and see?
If I got to work up that courage, I definitely got to work up the courage to probably DM first, because sometimes like when you wait and see, it goes nowhere. It just stays exactly where it's at. So I feel like maybe if you DM first and try to get the conversation going, it might be a little rocky at first, but you know, hopefully, just goes a little bit better after that.
Or would you DM first or like talk to them in person first?
Oh, if I had the choice, I'd talk to them in person first. That would 100% be the better scenario. But if you know you guys can't get to be in the same place all the time, but you guys are like, say, same friend group or same something, maybe a DM to be like, hey, you know, nice friend, you know, like you.
I see you.
Yeah, I see you.
Acknowledge a little like on the story.
Okay. Being challenged or being comforted?
I would say you gotta challenge yourself. As much as comfort's really nice. If you don't challenge yourself, you don't know what you're capable of. You know, like you gotta really just put one foot in front of the other and see where a lot of things go, whether that's relationships or work or whatever.
Very, very wise. Yes. Silence or constant background noise. Which do you prefer? This one could be a what is it? Fast response. Silence or constant background noise.
Background.
I would say silence.
I would say quick background noise, but I think is that a guy thing too? The guys that said like
couldn't study with music.
There
had to be nothing in the background.
Exposed. Yeah, I think I am a background. The white noise. Well, not even white noise. It's just like music. I'm like, oh,
just stuff. Yeah.
Guarding your heart or wearing it on your sleeve.
I'd probably wear mine on my sleeve, so I'd probably go with wearing it on the sleeve.
Okay. And then last question of the round, or do you have one? No? Okay, sorry. Why do you think singleness feels different for men than it does for women?
That was a great question. I would definitely say it probably feels different because, I mean, the guys were, from the beginning of time, from Adam and Eve, they were conditioned to be that supporter, the one that takes care of something that's, you know, like women came from Adam. That's the other part of the rib. That's why we're always trying to take care of the women in our lives, especially whether it's girlfriend, mom, sister, friend, doesn't matter. We're always trying to take care of them. So I would definitely say, you know, it's that instinct. We just have that second nature for us, pretty much.
Wait, but why would you say that? So you think that because it means like of a protector, that's why it could feel different? Because let's see, why do you think singleness feels different for men than it does for women? Because your instinct is naturally to what is it, to protect. So do you think you say that makes it harder to, when you are living in the stage of singleness, does that like make you feel like uneasy because you're like, I need to go protect someone? Like, how would you?
Yeah, I would say because like you can only protect like your mom, right? Because your dad protects your mom, and then you can only protect your sister so much, but that's also your dad's job is to protect her. So like, if me as like being single, you don't have anyone to like protect, so like you kind of feel a little bit out of whack. I would feel like
unbalanced.
Yeah, a little bit. Like you feel a little bit unbalanced, and you're like, I gotta go. Something's missing. I need to go figure out what's missing.
You're trying to find your person to protect.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I meant to date more. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I was just like, wait, that I see where you're going, but let me dig in deeper. Like, how do the two relate? But yes, that's a good correlation. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna dive in a little bit more deeper. But even though these first this or that were a little deep, we're nailing you right. No, the ladies want to know.
Yeah.
Okay, do you want to kick us off on the second segment, Carmen?
Okay. So the question I have, what has the season allowed you to grow in that maybe a relationship might not have?
Okay, so how have you grown as a person, like during this stage of singleness, as opposed to if you were in in a relationship, maybe you wouldn't have grown in that part. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry, I did it really fast.
I guess working with myself and being more like stable with like things that are in my life, and then more confident, because you know, guys, for some reason we like to be insecure, usually about nothing, like little small things, but we'll be a little insecure about things. I don't know why, but we will. So just growing in more of my faith, growing in how I understand things and how I can do things as a typical guy.
Yeah, and I guess we should have maybe started off with this, but Devon, what has your dating life been? Because I mean, a lot of our friends, we're gonna throw you guys under the bus. We'll well, either I think our friend group is split very 50-50. Either we have we're married, like, or have been in like a serious relationship, or a lot of them like our younger friends, like they've either been like single. So I don't know, what has your dating life been like? Do you say that you come from like, have you ever experienced like a deep long-term relationship?
I would say yeah. I did for like close to 2 years now, or like probably like 2 years ago. Um, I was in like a more serious relationship. Um, just things just towards the end they just didn't work. Like they started to like kind of fall apart. Started, I guess, like growing apart. Like she wanted one thing, I kind of wanted another. So like we kind of weren't really seeing like eye to eye on it. So then, that stopped, and then yeah, I've been single a year and a half ish.
Okay. Yeah, so you know what singleness is like. Yeah. Yeah, and you don't have to dive in, you don't have to dive into deep if you don't feel comfortable. But I mean, it's good to know, because sometimes like me, I can't give too much advice on dating because I've been blessed, maybe, or depending how you want to view on it, I've only been in one serious like committed relationship. It just so happened to be that like my high school childhood friend ended up being the person I married. So to say that I've experienced heartbreak, I haven't experienced heartbreak in that sense. So it's like sometimes I can't relate to certain things. So it's like, you being here, I think it's like you're a good guest. You've experienced that heartbreak of a long-term relationship, and maybe you've also experienced heartbreak of short-term, and you could differentiate between the two. Because I'm sure as a guy, there's like a difference between maybe if you've been on a shorter term relationship, did that hurt less than a long term? Like there's different attachments.
I definitely say there's different attachments, um, but ladies, believe it or not, guys are just as emotional as ladies. As they don't like to admit it, they don't like to act like it, but we are just as emotional as you guys. And sometimes those short-term relationships hurt just a little more.
Interesting.
Just a little more. At least for me, they've hurt just a little more because you were growing with them so fast, and then all of a sudden it just stopped, and you were like, "What happened? I thought we were good," and it turns out you weren't.
Good take. I mean, studies do show, I learned this from a different podcast, that guys tend to dive right into relationships much faster than girls do. So then that's why it could hurt both ways. Like if it's a short term, like the guys tend to be hurt because they fell for that person much faster as opposed to the girl, and vice versa. When you're in a longer relationship, it hurts the girl more at times because it took them longer to become invested into that relationship. So they were like, "Dang, I was careful and it's still like it didn't end up working out." So, to those living out in singleness, just know that we are praying for you guys and that the right person will come when the time is right. So, don't settle for less. And if you learned anything from Carla's episode, is just like be virtuous in that time of waiting. Yes, but back to the questions. What does intentional dating look like from your perspective?
I would say it's more like you, as like a guy, have this plan. Like I don't, can't speak for every guy. At least for me, I have this plan, kind of like a life plan. Certain age you want to get married, certain age you want to have kids. So that's like that would be like the intention of it. It's like at a certain point, I would like to get married, have kids, and start my family by a certain age.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, things take a turn for the worse sometimes, but you just, as long as I think if the guy like stays on that path,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he'll get there eventually, and sometimes, people, or guys or girls, sometimes, they become part of their religious, organizations, whether maybe I've thought about becoming a deacon.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I've thought about becoming a priest.
Okay.
It's possible.
You've discerned it. Well, kind of, sorry, interrupting Carmen's question, but did your parents marry young, would you say? Or are they married? Sorry, I didn't.
Yeah, they're
Mhm.
married. My dad was older. He's 5 years older. So he just told me today. He was 28. Yeah. So my mom was a little younger. He was older. So
She was 23. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, okay. Would you say, because what is your nowadays, like at least for me, like my parents married fairly young, so then for me it's not that I idolize marrying young, but that's something that I was like, well, it's I'd like to grow old with someone. I would like to reach 50 years being married with them, like, so that kind of influenced the intentionality when it came down to dating. Would you say that that's like something that your parents have influenced in you? Would you want to get married young or way down the line? Because nowadays, I don't know, people, especially men, tend to want to wait longer to get married.
I think because of the situation my parents were in, because they have that 5 year gap.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it would be wait a little bit, but I don't want to wait too long. So like I got this weird.
What's your timeline, if you don't mind sharing?
Share.
If things were to go perfectly, what would be your ideal age to get married by?
Or your plan.
Or your plan?
Or like
Let's say around 27, maybe 28, like around there.
Mm-hmm. It's a good age.
be married by then?
Hopefully.
Okay. How long would you date a girl? Or would you want to date a girl?
I would probably want to date someone for as long as I could, until I feel like I know for a fact that she is the one. Because I've heard some relationships where they've been dating for 6 months and then they get married, and they go on to have the best
relationship.
best relationship. And then I know some people who dated for years and it took them a while, but they finally get married, and their marriage at the beginning is like a little rocky.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as like smooth sailing as other couples.
Yeah.
So just until I feel like, yeah, she's the one.
She's the one, yeah. And I think that's where it's important to discern together, like as in that relationship. I feel like when you're first dating, there is like the different stages. At first, like the first year could easily be like, yes, you're still talking, but the talking stage is now different. Like, yes, you have that more official title to it, but you're really still getting to know that person more now at a deeper level. And then the second year, you're like, no, we're still just getting to know each other. So it's easy to let the years go by fast, but I think at some point you do start to like bring out those harder questions, like what do you want in your life?
Being more intentional and like really thinking about it and having those conversations with your boyfriend girlfriend and like really talking about it. It could be weird because it's like, oh no, I want it to be a surprise if he proposes, but it's like, no,
but then
like,
you get
we
those
have to talk
instances
about
where
it.
the girl doesn't even want to get married because they
Yeah.
never talked about it.
Yeah. Or the guy brings out the ring and it's like, oh no, they get too scared.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so definitely have that conversation. Yeah.
That would be really embarrassing for any guy. I could just see it now. Any guy would be really embarrassed if that happened.
Yes. Yeah, but some guys don't listen because sometimes they do talk about it. Like I've seen on TikTok where they're like, no, what are you doing? And then like they do their story time. They're like, I told them a bunch of times that I didn't want to get married, and then it so happened. So guys, if the girl's already telling you then maybe listen, and maybe that's not the one.
Yeah, have those conversations. Like actually listen and pay attention. Don't just not go in one ear, leave the other. You know, really pay attention and listen.
Yes. Yes. Listening. It's an acquired skill. Yes.
Okay. What's something men wish they could say about singleness but rarely do?
That it's not like the movies where they'll say like, "Oh, I can just do whatever I want when I'm single." It's like, yeah, you can do whatever you want when you're single, but at least for like most guys, it's like they want to feel like they mean something to someone, and like if you're single, you're like, do I really mean anything to anyone, or am I just going about life for like what reason? You know, if if you're a part of like faith or like religious, yeah, you could be like, oh, maybe a deaconry or maybe priesthood would be something I'm interested in. At least for a guy's perspective, you could do that. But like, if you don't have faith, then you might think that you're doing life for nothing, or you're just working and then you work until you get old and die.
You're essentially missing that purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dang. And for those who don't know, deacons are you're able to if you're able to be married and become a deacon. So after, so we'll bring in. We do have a deacon that we know very close. So we'll actually ask them at some point to be our guest because a lot of people don't know and they get confused. They're like, wait, so the priest can get married, but in the Catholic Church, priests cannot get married, but our deacons, which could celebrate like the sacrament of baptism or help during the mass, they just can't consecrate hosts. So another episode for that. But yeah. I mean, that's definitely some, as you said, that maybe that's something that you've discerned. If you want to become a deacon, that's something that at some point you will have to connect with like your future spouse, because if the spouse has to be in accordance with you in order to enter that, because it's also you do a lot of sacrifice. Yeah, it's a lot of sacrifice as a family, but I mean, lovely return at the end, and that is also a vocation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just the only, because I know the Catholic has different rites. The only rite that I know that you can be a priest and still married is the Byzantine one. So they're the only ones that allow priesthood. Not saying people should join the Byzantine one. Roman Catholic is a little easier to understand. But yeah, that is, some people get away with that. They're like, oh, well, he's a priest. Why is he married?
Yeah, no, it's different segment. Yeah.
A little different branch.
A little different branch, yeah. Yes. Okay. Well, kind of going back with that other question is, what would you say to a guy who feels behind in life because he's single?
I That was actually that was really good. I don't know. You got nothing to worry about. At least I would say is that you don't got nothing to worry about, because if you trust God and you trust His timing, He'll put you through whatever it is at the correct and right time. You just stick to your faith, stick to your roots, and you'll eventually be living God's plan. You just gotta just take your time, just pray on it. I saw a quote, and it said, he was talking about like a girl, and he said it was different praying for her versus praying for her. And it took me a minute to realize that. I was like, what do you mean praying? Like, why is it different? No, praying for her helps you as a man than just praying for her. It's a little different.
So pray for her. No, that's what we were saying like in the last episode. Sorry, I could jump out of my seat. But that's what we were saying in last episode. It's like pray for your future spouse. Like you really don't know what that other person is going through. So it's like if you're living in that stage of singleness, it's like just pray for whoever that person might be. For all you know, that person might be battling with depression and they have no one, and your prayers are the ones that are uplifting them. And in the future, like that does happen. Like you're like connecting, you're like at this time, I don't know, maybe, I mean, that's very possible. Like you just don't know where you'll meet your significant other. So then for all you know, you might travel and you come across it and they're there. I mean, it happens. Emily Wilson's husband was from Germany.
Yeah,
she's a USA girl. Like it happens. Like there's different scenarios. Like you just don't know. Like sometimes I think that we get too caught up on just like our small bubble of like our current life, and you just forget to like realize that there's like millions of people out in this world. So if you find yourself feeling stuck and you're like, well, I'm coming to church and I'm not seeing any girls, like, okay, there's other churches nearby you. Go and explore. Some churches have bigger youth groups, and that's not to say that you're going to the youth group with like that pure intention, because that sometimes works out, it sometimes doesn't. But I mean, also go, your intentionality like will matter. And I think if you put yourself out there, then it works. Like business people say, if you want to find a good business person, then go play golf. You'll like think alike, look alike, all of that. So it's like put yourself in those scenarios where you would want to find the type of person you're seeking.
Yeah, because if you don't go out and you're not looking or being intentional about finding that person or praying for them in the midst of everything, they're not gonna come knock at your door. Yeah. I mean, that would be fun. That would be cool.
Shoot, it's like, here's your gift.
I'm here. But that doesn't happen.
I think that there's also just like that beauty in the seeking of it.
For sure.
Work hard for it, and then the reward is just even more there.
And it starts with being friends. It's something simple like that, friendship. And then it starts to build up more and stuff, because you're not going to see someone and be like, well, maybe you will. I don't know. But for the most part, you're not going to see someone be like, that's my wife, that's my husband.
It's like super rare when it happens.
So you just got to start maybe being friends, seeking and those friendships. And then those friendships could lead into something else if it's meant to be.
Yep.
Yeah. How do you balance desire for marriage without idolizing it?
Or is that something you're struggling with? You could be honest. I mean, that's a possibility.
Yeah.
You just say it one more time. Sorry.
How do you balance the desire for marriage without idolizing marriage?
I guess I never really thought of it, because I'm not really idolizing it. Like if it happens one day, for me, like cool, it happens. But if not, like I've alluded to earlier on, it's like I have kind of thought about maybe becoming a deacon. I've had a friend actually mention it one time. He's like, well, what about becoming a deacon? I'm like, nah, I don't know. I'm not sure. But to like I guess to get back to the question, just just have have faith. Just don't try to rush it. Rushing into anything always kills whatever it is, whether it's a friendship, relationship. It always kills it. So just take your time. Like just literally, like I've learned, take your time. Be willing for it to work out at God's time, because your time and God's time, completely different times.
Very different. Yep. Yes. So, kind of piggybacking off of that, if God doesn't change your relationship status right now or in the next few months, how do you still choose joy and faith today?
I just try to get a better relationship with him, so maybe maybe I can understand him and why maybe he's saying no, you're not ready for a relationship yet, because I feel like I might be ready for a relationship, but he might be like, nah, no man, you're not ready for a relationship. So just grow with him and just keep growing, keep joining different ministries. Just keep, and it's going to sound like kind of weird, but like keep putting yourself out there. Like don't be discouraged. Like keep putting yourself out there. I'm sure eventually something will come through, or you'll find that random person that one day, that one time you go to one ministry, one meeting, or one meetup, and then all of a sudden it's like find someone, you like hit it off with them. That could be your future girlfriend.
Yeah, you just never know.
Okay. How can men live singleness as a vocation, not a waiting room?
Singleness, I would say probably just, I mean, I'm gonna sound like a broken record, kind of, but
I was
just
gonna say it kind of basically goes with what you were saying. Just like keep praying and putting yourself out there, and don't just wait there.
Yeah, because I think that's a precious time too, like being in your singleness era, space, time, because it's like you were saying, you're trying to grow. Probably God is trying to tell you something or learn something from him or learn with him about something that you might need for yourself. And it's that time that after you do find your future spouse and you get married, you're not gonna be single again. Like, I mean, you'll grow with your
Maybe this
spouse.
is the
It's
time
beautiful.
where you go and hang out with the bros. I don't know. I mean, it's a little different for the guys, but no, it's true because like at some point it won't be the same. Like your time will not just be your time. You'll be sharing that time. So it is like hanging out with guy friends or with group settings, doing those things, spending time with the mom. A lot of the times, like, I mean, I think people ask, like, what is the top priority? Like, if you were to place your mom, wife, or or kids, like, what placement would you give them? Let's see your thoughts on this.
I'd go wife, say kids, mom.
Mm-hmm.
Because
You passed the test. We could end it right here. No.
I mean, because at the end of the day, you're building your family and your relationship with your family. As much as you might love your mom, sometimes you gotta be a man. You gotta take care of your responsibilities, but let your mom still know that you still love her and you still care for her.
For sure. And I mean, we're not saying that wife above God. Like, obviously, God is first. Like, not needing to say it, But yes, it's true. A lot of the times people say still mom over wife. And it's like, no, because now you have left that covenant and you started your own. And a lot of the times people are too afraid. They go, well, what if it doesn't work out? And then I've left you can't go into a relationship thinking, what if it doesn't work out? Because
maybe that's not for you.
Yeah. If you're already having those doubts and then maybe it's not for you, but if you're just going into something and already thinking of like where it's gonna that it's gonna end bad, then you're not allowing yourself to live fully in it. It's like life was not meant to be easy. Heartbreak was meant to happen. So it's like allow yourself to feel like all of those emotions, but don't let those emotions take control over you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes. So I think we could dive into some of the fun IG questions that that were left for us. It feels like we've been talking for a short period of time, but ya vamos alargando. So let's dive right in.
So, what is your ideal first date?
My ideal first date, I got two
Okay.
options. It would either be like a nice dinner or hike.
That's
Okay.
fun. I love hikes.
I hate hikes.
And I think you can learn so much from a person with a hike. Even if you hate it or love them, you learn so much about
No, yeah,
someone.
you do. Yes. I mean, they say the best way to get to know someone is through a trip, right? A hike is a mini trip. Yes. Okay. Say a hike and a picnic, dinner and a walk, dinner and dessert.
It, I mean, either one. I'd probably lean a little more towards dinner. Maybe dinner and a walk. Just so that way it's not super. I get like chaotic like in the middle of the day. Cause like a hike, you can be like in the middle of the day.
Sweating.
It's sweat. Yeah,
Maybe leave that for second date.
yeah. Maybe you know
Yeah.
what? No, thank you. I got that.
Yeah,
Second date,
second
hike.
date.
First date,
Dinner.
dinner and a walk.
Yeah. And I think don't be afraid to have questions there as backup because I feel like first dates can be very like nerve wracking. And if there's something that I've learned from a friend is like she's always ready to ask questions. Like even for our meetings and stuff, like she has a question and I'm like, I like that because it gets rid of the awkwardness. And I think I saw an Instagram account that does that. Like the guy just goes, would you like to go on a date? And then he gets a girl to also go on that date and then he's there with them like he goes, I'll buy you both lunch, like no obligation afterwards, and then he's there filling in those gaps, like asking them questions. So maybe that's the one thing. If if your intention is to date more this year, have little question cue cards, as silly as they may sound. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Thoughts about dating outside the Catholic faith?
I would say I'm like open to it to a certain point
Mm-hmm.
because the Catholic faith that it's so like near and dear to me, especially since I just did it like last year, so it's still very near and dear. Um, Maybe if she's willing to think about converting, then it'd be even better. But I'm not gonna force her right
Yeah.
off the bat.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are some red flags you might see in a person, in a girl? Because you're a guy. Or vice versa. You could also say what are some like for the girls who are wondering what are some red flags for a guy?
Okay. I think I can do both
Okay.
because I know some guys probably watch this and he's like, I need some help.
Yeah.
Um, I would say if she's not passionate about something, guys, it just shows that she's not capable of like putting in the time for something, whether that's your relationship or whether that's you. I would say that's probably like one thing. And then I don't know if for guys or if some guys are very like family oriented, but for me, I am. So like if she doesn't really care about her family or her family doesn't really care about her, like that's just to me that's like a red flag. That's like I would want my future girlfriend, future spouse to be, a little family oriented. So that way, because at the end of the day, like the whole point is to grow as a family. That's what you would want. So if she's family oriented, you're family oriented, it should be good. Guys, red flags.
Mm-hmm.
Red flagging guys.
I would say if they're not ambitious, same way. If they're not ambitious, then that could be a red flag because it's like, how are you gonna provide for your family? Which too much ambitious could also be like bad because it's like if you overly focus on work. But I think that the guy needs to have some form of ambitions as well.
Yeah.
What are some red flags for guys, Carmen?
Yeah, I was gonna say laziness, but ambitious sounds better. I think just really or having that. Like what else? Red flag, red flag. Maybe if they just think of themselves, like it's only them, just them. Like their ego is like it's them, them. Me. And it's like, okay, well then, if they do get a girlfriend or a spouse, like what's gonna happen? Is it just gonna be him all the time, or like like, just, or maybe it just won't work out.
True. That's true. But don't come at them if they're working and then you're like, why isn't he replying? Like, chill out. Like, man, let them work. I don't text. I mean, very, very cut short when I'm working. So it's like, if they're not texting, like, be realistic with your expectations too.
Yeah, because that's a lot of girls say like, no, that's a red flag. He's taking forever, or he texts back too fast. It's like
let
the guy. He saw his phone. He texted back. It's okay.
It's like
doomed. It's not a big deal.
Yeah. Doomed if they reply too fast. Doomed if they don't. Like, it just shows they have interest. But I mean, I think like with this day and age that we like live, like that whole like if he wanted to, he would, like, yes, but then that's also like not too like, I don't know. I think that's not very healthy. Like, obviously there's like certain cases that it's like like he's not putting any attention to your relationship, you're working, you have kids and stuff like that, and he's not putting any effort, then yeah, okay, if he really wanted to, he would. But I mean, if you're both working and doing certain things, then it's like completely different. Don't judge your relationship based out of others, because every situation is different.
Yeah, and it's like both of them should be putting in that effort for it to like actually work and grow or begin the relationship.
Exactly. Like, a girl also has to be cordial to the guy. Like, yes, the guy should take the lead, but as a girl too, like, if you wanted to, ladies, you would. Yep. If you're like a guy, don't wait for him to be the one to like talk to you. Like, be a go-getter.
Like, go talk to him.
If you don't, some other girl will.
Yep.
They will. Would you say it's truth? Yeah. I mean, I don't know if the girl should be the one to propose, but at least talking stage or something.
And, like, being nice and friendly. Like, if you're a girl and you think someone's cute, go say hi. Like,
do a little flirt.
If the guy doesn't come up to you, maybe he needs glasses, or he didn't see you or notice you or something.
He's a little shy. Like, what advice would you give Devon to our shy fellas?
Girls or boys?
Boys.
Shy boys.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're a shy guy, literally don't be afraid. Just be like, hi, my name's so and so. Maybe I would say find something on her outfit that you liked. Like, give her a compliment first. Don't just be a weirdo and be like, hey, hey.
I mean, you could. Some girls might say, okay, I'd like to think, but yes, compliment first.
Yeah.
Ease up to it.
Give a nice compliment. Usually, the guys I follow on social media, they'll like say like shoes or like like sweatshirt or something where like you're not
being a creeper.
Yeah, where you're not being a creeper, because like if you,
I like your ancestry. I like your lineage. You're like, okay. Yeah. Find something nice to compliment. A girl could go on and on about the shirt that they got or something.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. What do you look for in a woman or girl? I mean, women. You're an adult, so it's like, don't look for a girl.
No, I don't want to do that. What do I look for in a woman? Me personally, goal oriented. Like, if you have something, like if I've talked to you and you had something on your mind and you want to achieve that, go out and like achieve it. Like, no, I'll be here to like support that, but don't let me stop you from achieving what you want, because it takes a real man to be that cheerleader for the girl, because it says even in the Bible, it's blanking on my mind where it says, but it says men, you pretty much have to look at life through your wife's perspective, and wives look at life through your man's perspective. so that way you guys can complement each other, especially when it comes down to things that they like and what they want to do. I would say like goal oriented. Literally just make me laugh, funny, like you smart. Um, wanting.
Do they have to like country music? You.
Don't necessarily like to have like country music. Just can't get sad if I play it. Like at least if I want to play it, you let me play like one.
Let me just play one song.
Please, one song. That's all I want.
You shared you like country music, so I asked. Nice. Thank you for sharing. Okay, last question. What advice do you have for someone who has been best friends with someone for 2 years? In this case, the girl has feelings, but the guy does not. What would you recommend to the girl? How do you let go of that?
First off, that's tough for the guy because I feel bad for him because.
But the guy's the one that doesn't like her.
Guy's the one that doesn't know, right?
No. I think in this case he knows, but he doesn't like her.
But she likes him.
I guess the advice I would give
her
is I would say first maybe like pray on it, like literally just pray on it, see if you maybe see a vision or something from God, and then maybe you bring it up to him just like one last time, and if he's just like no, like I'm still good, then just like as sad as it's gonna say, just move on, like make that peace for you, like don't drag it out because that could hurt worse and more than trying to keep it going, like keep that relationship type thing going. Just move on and then do a different ministry, do something, just get involved in something else because you never know where your next person will be.
Yep. And as painful as it might sound, like, because in this, you might lose a friend. You could still be cordial with them and stuff like that, but definitely take care of yourself first, and maybe try the surrender novena. Like, surrender that friendship, and if something will come out from it, then it will, but if not, then just surrender that, and so that it can bring you peace to move on and to have that courage to leave that friendship, because sometimes it's like, I think friendships between opposite sex, like it could be hard, especially as you start looking to date and stuff. Like, if you stick around for a while and say that person starts dating, that will hurt you emotionally, and you still want to be there for that person, but definitely take a step back in that friendship, especially if this is more of that one-sidedness. I think that do that, or do the marry and doer of nots. I mean, there's novenas out there that it's like to help you find your spouse. So it's like you might not find, God's not going to put you to your future spouse like right away. But, I mean, he could. Yeah. There's been cases where people say, like, yeah, a relationship came out of it. But, I mean, definitely always include God in those plans and do a novena. The novena, sometimes it's not like a magic potion, but it can give you that, like, because you're doing it consistently, like you're retraining your brain, and it will bring you peace. Yeah. We're sorry you're in that situation.
I would also say, to do a little piggyback off that a little bit, look at what Jacob did for Rachel. He waited on her 7 years. It took a while. Yeah. But hey, you never know. Sometimes waiting it out might be the best possibility. I'm just saying, Jacob did it.
It might work out for you. I mean, it's true. Maybe one day I'll share a little bit of my story. I don't know. I don't know about Jacob and Rachel, but I mean, sometimes it does work out. But it's definitely, it doesn't mean that it's going to be easy on your heart, because clearly through these years, like, I mean, but then also if you take a step back, maybe that's where the guy will see
And
like
realize.
and realize what he has in front of him. Sometimes that's what happens. It's like I mean, when I was younger, like my friends had so many little crushes, and then they would always go like, oh, she likes him then, but he doesn't. And then when she stops liking him, then the boom, it would happen. And then too bad, so sad. I don't know.
Yeah.
And sometimes people just work that way. So maybe try that. Take a step back, but pray about it. Yes. Okay. Well, thank you, Devon. It has been a pleasure having you here. You're the first guy in our podcast. You made it through episode 11. Thank you for being here. But before we wrap up, would you mind carrying us away with the saint of the day?
The Catholic saint of the day for February 12th is Saint Meltitius of Antioch. They died in 381. They were a 4th century bishop known for defending Orthodox Christianity against Arianism. Despite being exiled 3 times, he led the church in Antioch with gentleness and was highly respected by contemporaries like Saint Basil the Great and Saint John Chrysostom. Yeah, I believe it's Chrysostom.
Wow, thank you. And for those who don't know, because I myself didn't know, Arianism is a Christological doctrine that rejects the tradition notion of the Trinity. So they rejected the teaching that Jesus was created by God and is therefore distinct from God. Because as Catholics, we believe in the Holy Trinity, God, Son, Holy Spirit. Wow. So thank you for fighting for that. Well, that wraps up our episode. We hope that you guys enjoyed this episode, and thank you again, Devon, once again for coming.
Thank you.
We know it could be scary to be on camera, but thank you. And we just want to say welcome to all of the new guests that we have. Our little community is growing, so know that we are praying for you guys, and we hope that you guys also pray for us. And let's invite God into everything that we do this week. So if you like this episode, please like, comment, subscribe, and share, as it helps us reach others. And thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye. Devon, this is the hot seat. Okay, sorry, I typed these questions really fast. I was like, our dog keeps barking.
Saint of the day. Sorry. Wow, I could.
Okay.